All right, guys, Michael Hicks here with Mike Does and the Build Unique podcast, where we talk about creating unique lifestyles and building unique lives for ourselves and our families. I'm here today with my friends Rob and Ayoka. Before we get to them, we're going to cut to a word from our sponsor, Wander Chat. All right, I'd like to thank our sponsor of this week's video, Wander Chat Vacation Rentals here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. For all your unique vacation rental needs, we have water properties, we have mountain properties, we have shipping containers, A-frames, lake houses. We got you covered on your unique spaces. So come on down and see us. Visit us at wanderchat.com or on TikTok and Instagram at wanderchat. All right, guys, so tell us a little bit about who Rob and Ayoka are and what do you guys do?
Well, I'd say currently today we're real estate investors for the last 4 years now. Prior to that, we were just employees in the best way, and we lived in New York City. Now currently reside here in Tennessee.
Harder than New York City, yeah.
Yeah.
Different now we're in the country.
Yeah.
Before you talked about New York City, do they sell good pizza up there?
The best pizza. I just want to say I don't know what Little Caesars is, but you guys seem to love it down here.
I just hope they have Little Caesars in New York because I hear everything's better.
Yeah, it's way better. It's way better.
All right.
So, to cut real long story short, we enjoyed, being employees, and I sold cars. Ayoka was in loss prevention, corporate, and just one day, I thought obviously I'd be there forever. And one day I just got, fired. The dealership got bought out by another dealership, and me being number one for 4 years in a row, best salesman. I thought that I was untouchable, and I was being touched and on the way out the door. And Ayoka asked me, I could have had any job on the strip, and she asked me not to get a job because she was watching some weird
wholesaling,
weird like real estate things on YouTube. The radio.
Mm-hmm.
And you had like an idea that I wasn't too sure of.
Yeah. And back in 2018, we decided, we decided to come down to Tennessee, make some big sacrifices and stay with one of my family members on the couch and just try to figure out how to start investing in real estate. We didn't come down with a lot of cash, probably around $4,000, $5,000.
Everything that we had into I think it was a Lincoln Navigator, everything we had, we sold everything, and it's just had clothes in trash bags, and we're like, completely like started over.
So you burnt the bridge behind you. I took off to Tennessee.
Yeah.
And slept on a couch. So this had to be a big couch.
Well, mind you, we didn't. Dude, I say this. I joke with Ayoka. I'm like, man, we could sleep on Everest because the couch was about 3 feet wide. It was very narrow.
Yeah. But
we would literally just hold each other because that's all we had. We had one small closet for all of our stuff and that couch and our 2 laptops.
There's nothing worse than being held when you're mad at that person.
Oh, yeah. Because,
or nothing better, man. They bring you together quicker.
Yeah.
Sometimes I had to do a little,
Yeah, but,
dig it in.
Yeah, literally, I remember you telling me a story. It's like she just she cut her ID card.
Yeah.
In half, and she's like,
I erased our resumes off my laptop, and I was just like, okay, we can't look back now.
Yeah,
so,
that's a big deal. You put a lot of work into building a resume and building up. I'm sure you can go back. You could go back and redo it.
No.
Yeah,
but it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to go back and redo something like that.
Yeah,
and to cut those ties and say, I'm done.
Yeah,
this is the only way now.
Yeah, and I just have to say, it's scary as hell. Like, whoa, like the guarantee. If I get it, the guarantee of getting a check every Friday, every 2 weeks, there is some comfort to that. But like, it's scary and it's a big jump. And some people it might not be for everyone, but it's definitely something where you have to know, like, I will be rewarded as much as I put into it. And it kind of makes the transition a little bit easier. Like if you're like, all right, I'm just going to sit here, read a couple books, and maybe some money will come to me. It's what you put in is what you're going to get out. And it's been more rewarding thinking of it like that instead of, all right, I clock in, I get paid, So it's that transition, I think, is what scares a lot of people. But we were like all in.
Yeah. And if I could just say like one quick minute, I think looking back now at 2018 when we first came down here, I had no idea how to even start a business, much less try to start a business with someone that we're trying to figure out our own mindsets. There were many times where Rob and I was not on the same mindset, and I was mad because I felt like he couldn't understand what I wanted, or
and I was mad at her because
Yeah,
I
like
thought she
we
was
were-
a dreamer.
yeah, it was our
the
first.
realist, like
Yeah.
you.
I feel like that's the
real estate
thing that
wife.
people don't really talk about because we had separate jobs for the now 11 years we've been together. So then when it comes to we're what, like 7, 8 years at the time we came down here, you think you know someone, but we're just now trying to figure out ourselves individually as well. Who is this entrepreneur? Our political views were changing. Our mindset was changing on, our thoughts on fear. We never even thought about, even like, what am I afraid of? What are you afraid of? We've never had this conversation. So there was a lot of little things that we had to, and still figuring out about each other, that when you're just in a relationship and you're going, you go to your job, you go in your job, we don't think about who we are, integrity wise, who he is at his place of employment, or me, or, you just don't figure out those things until you're intimately working together. Like, oh shoot, we got to be on the same page here too. This is a whole nother page that we've never even explored. And that is like, I think that was such an interesting thing, because you really think you know someone, after 8 years, like, and it's like, wow, we're so much to learn. Like, even to this day, I will never say I know Rob, because one, he surprises me a lot every day with just the things he's curious about. And then I surprise myself because I'm like, man, I never thought I would even be someone that would be interested in numbers and Excel sheets and just the things that I'm like a bit of a freak in my mind about. Like, same, like it's new, and you're still trying to learn those things.
That's what I love about this track that we're on, in life. It causes you to continually grow, and to continually find yourself. I mean, I'm 41, 100%. I'm 10 years older than you guys, and I'm still trying to figure out who I am and what I am and what I'm trying to do, because it's ever evolving. You just keep taking the road, and
I would never thought we'd all be as close as friends as we are, going on trips.
I remember the first time I met you. It's like, and now looking at you now, massive change, and what you're doing, podcasts, the tiny homes.
Just your creative
side. It's honored to it's honored to be like on the podcast, and then being around, learning from what you're doing. Like, it's incredible.
I'm just gotten to the point where I just want to have fun. I've grinded long enough. I'm ready to have some fun.
For sure.
I'm trying to do the things that I enjoy, and I think that's important as we grow in our career. To early on, we've got to grind.
For sure.
And grinding for me was working third shift and working weekends and missing get-togethers and family birthday parties and reunions. And, it was working third shift and then working on my business during the day for 15 years.
The crazy thing is, you'll work 40 hours as an employee, but as an entrepreneur, you're doing double, triple. And it's like, whoa, like, it is not a vacay. It is like,
even now,
we'll wake up at 2, 3 in the morning and we're like, what's the highest and best use for this property? What can we move this?
Write it down and go back to bed.
I've started doing that. Like,
it's like, man.
But you talked about going all in and burning the bridge behind you. And I look back and it's easy to look back and have regrets or saying I should have done this and should have done that. Had I burnt the bridge instead of holding on to that crutch of the full-time job, because that's all it was a crutch. It was something that, well, if I always have that check coming Friday or every other Friday. I'm able to lay
have
off
some
a little
comfort
bit
and,
and have the comfort there, knowing that that's coming. Well, hey, if I had left and known that, hey, I've got to make it work this way, I would have been a lot further along, a lot sooner. That's huge.
For sure. For sure.
I definitely think there's a lot of hidden little things that are not really highlighted in this entrepreneurship journey, because back to starting, like how you were saying, you're grinding in the beginning, and then you get to the place where you're having fun, which I can't wait to get to that place. We're still grinding. We're still very much in the beginning.
What's funny is my fun is going to Lowe's and them giving me 5% off on an order. So I'm like, whoa, man, what'd I do for that?
I don't think we ever stepped foot in the Lowe's
Well, I'm
Until
still grinding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not the same grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, you still,
But you've earned, I think the biggest thing is, like, it's, you know, you'll go on Instagram or you'll go see certain people and you'll be like, all right, I start a business. I can be like Grant Cardone next week. He's earned that. You've earned that reduction in your you know, you've earned a reduction of work that you can do. But there's some people, you're just starting out, you're going to work 3 times as hard. You maybe get to our level, you work twice as hard. You'll get to your level, maybe normal, and so on and so forth. But it's what you put in and what you get out, and then it happens from there.
it's going to be different for everybody too.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
Everybody, you know, you talk about finding yourself. You know, y'all are shooting for things that I have no desire to have, and no desire to manage, no desire to want.
Yeah.
So, you
It's all
know,
different.
success is different.
Yeah.
No matter who you are. You know, the success for one person might be 10 rental properties,
Sure.
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's a comfortable.
Or maybe
lifestyle for
even
them.
one.
It could
Yeah.
be one,
Yeah.
you know, a small multifamily
Yeah.
property. You know,
It's all subjective.
it's subjective.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I hear people talking about how many doors do you have? How many doors do you have?
Yeah.
And, you know, I have fewer doors now
Mm-hmm.
than I had 6 years ago,
Fewer headaches.
but I've got triple the income because of the way I've worked
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
Exactly.
So it's not about the number of doors. So
Yeah.
don't, if I can tell somebody, just don't compare
Bro, you're speaking to
yourself
the
and
choir,
don't,
bro.
don't worry about how many doors. Worry about the quality of your doors.
Yeah.
You know? So
Pastor Mike, everybody.
Is it
Pastor Mike.
Sunday?
can I get an amen?
It's Sunday. Woo!
No, it's so true because we were like 2 years ago, we're like 30 doors by 30, then 100 doors and 200 doors. And it's like now we've purchased properties where our cash flow numbers accounts to like, you know, twice as many doors as what that property is. So it's like, it's all about the cash flow. But yeah,
Well, you know,
it's,
I had this, you know, I was there. I was like, okay, I want 50 doors by, you know, and I was at 44. And I'm like, but then I get to looking and, you know, the majority of my properties were like crap properties. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
not crap, but they're just 2-bedroom, 1-bath, single family homes
Yeah.
Mhm.
that, you know, if I looked back and said, okay, instead of buying these $30,000 and $40,000 homes that I thought I could afford,
Yeah.
that I had that mentality that, okay, $30,000 to $40,000 homes is all I can afford. That's all I attracted.
yeah,
So then I built up this portfolio of these $30,000 to $40,000 2-bedroom homes. I could have had 10 3-bed, 2-bath that were
High-end
made for
home.
double
Yeah.
Yep.
and that were appreciating at a much higher rate
Yep.
and had half the headache.
Yeah.
But
You know, half the tenants.
Yeah. Go ahead. Say.
But yeah, it's just a learning process. You got to find yourself, find your way.
That's it.
You know, and I think that's important as we grow. You know, it's important. I'm just going to buy these properties and hold them forever. Now that's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, for sure.
and especially in a high market right now, even if you're exchanging your property into a better property and not you're moving your equity from one to the other.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're exchanging, you know, get out of these lower end properties in the upswing and exchange into a nicer property. You know, you might be getting rid of 4 of these for one of these.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But you're getting the same rent and you're getting 1 tenant instead of 4. So
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fine.
the
So-
ROE, return on effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, for you to get to that place.
It's Mike's podcast.
I know, right? I know. That's right. Taking over.
Bring it.
Yeah. For you to get to that place, how many years were you buying the $30,000-$40,000 houses, and what or who were you talking to that changed that? Because I asked that question because I think it's so important. Because I know you go to a lot of seminars, you do virtual
And by the way,
meetings.
speaking to Mike, the amount of money you invest in your knowledge, your personal investment, you probably could have brought 4 or 5 homes just in your investment
I mean,
of
it's a
yourself.
college degree.
Yeah, it's
So-
crazy.
Yeah. When did you go from buying those houses to
When I started getting
I can-
educated.
Okay.
So Bill Cook and Doc Spotiford are the ones that put that mindset. You know, Bill was the creative deal structuring and Docs was the exchanging to better properties.
So as soon as you got around those people,
2014, 15, you know, it was 15 years of collecting 1 or 2 properties a year. And then bam, you know, just mindset change
yeah,
that propelled me into buying more properties quicker with better deal structuring and just setting myself up better.
Yeah.
So, you know, creating the deal, you know, structuring this deal, looking out for the next deal, knowing that, hey, I'm going to set this one up this way because of the way this one it
Was
needs to be
structured.
done.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, knowing that in 3 or 4 years, I'm going to exchange out of that into another property, into a bigger property.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I just think it's admirable, and because you think about how you're used to doing, it's so hard for people to come out of the way that they're doing things. And until you surround yourself with people that can show you, okay, there's a better way to do this. I think it's admirable when I hear people say, "Oh, I used to do this," until I realize, "Oh, there's a better way to
Some
do
people don't
this."
want to
It's
change.
really hard.
It's hard to change.
It's really hard to do
I
that.
struggle with that. I mean,
Yeah.
so just like, I feel like sometimes I'm a dinosaur when it comes to real estate investing because, I learned to, talk to sellers face to face and knocking on doors and
Yeah.
just pull it up in their driveway and say, "Hey, is this for sale?" And then now everybody's text blasting and,
I love.
yeah, you're
I just
great at
have
it.
to
You're
say,
great at it.
I just have to say, the more technology that enters whatever industry you're in, the better and more effective the old school methods will be, and the more approach you'll get. Sure, there might be a fad here or there where when text blast started, everybody was like, "Whoa!" Sure, but knocking on doors, cold calling, and just coming up to someone and talking to them
It'll never
has
go-
been
Yeah.
the
It'll never
most.
go away, and
Yeah.
you get your best
Yeah.
deals doing that.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah,
your
for
best
sure.
Structures and your best deals doing that. You talk about structuring or changing your ways
Yeah.
after you've been doing it so long, and I have to go back to Nick Saban for that. I mean, if you look at what he's done. Easy now. You know who it is. You know who it is. So you look at Nick Saban, and he starts out with this heavy defensive line package.
Yeah.
And then they go to these fun and gun quarterbacks
Yep.
with these receivers that are
Yep.
blowing his guys out of the water.
Options. This
So,
right. Yeah.
So now he's got to shift. He shifts, and now he's got the guys that can keep up with those guys.
Quite frankly, Alabama probably has the best linebacker and defensive back. Way better. It's switched.
Then they go with the hurry up offense.
Sure.
And he's continued to adapt.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got to look at the book Who Moved the Cheese? Who Moved My Cheese? It's similar. It's talking about knowing where to move next and knowing when to move, and when to shift your strategy.
Sure.
So yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. But that change, that is something. I just think that it's something that people don't really talk about. Like, it just looks good. It's like the highlight. Like, oh yeah, I used to buy this, but now I do
The
this.
transition.
And that mindset to even have the courage to change, what you were doing into doing something else is deep.
So many people they come into wholesaling because it's a low barrier to entry, and then they call themselves real estate investors. When you get down to it, that is not real estate investing.
No, I disagree.
I disagree.
What did you invest in?
Let me tell you
what
why.
did you invest in?
Knowledge, but let me tell you
What did
why.
you invest in?
I had to start when we started wholesaling. When I was calling myself a wholesaler, I didn't feel like I could talk to sellers. I had to train my mind to say, I'm an investor, I'm a buyer. And that helped me.
Okay, but saying it and being it are two different things.
Well, what if I'm invested in my education?
First off, we need to explain to people
You're investing in
that
yourself.
the act
Yes.
of wholesale. What wholesaling is finding discounted off-market properties, getting them for a price, and then marking them up to an end buyer or cash buyer, and making the profit in the middle. So that is what wholesaling, the effect of wholesaling is. It happens in car sales. The car dealerships get a car for a certain price.
Take it further though.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's definitely
Flipping houses is not a real estate investor.
Oh,
wow, man, this is controversial. What
Yeah.
is this Russia?
So you're buying and selling, or you're buying and flipping a home. New construction, you're buying and selling a product.
Sure.
Or you're building and selling.
But
a
you
product.
have to know that it's you're spending money to then make more money. Is that not investing?
investment.
It's
Your
okay to change
investment.
your mind. It's
I'm
okay.
not changing my mind. Being a flipper is a job.
Okay.
Okay,
Tax-wise, it is.
Okay,
Tax-wise.
tax-wise, it's a job.
Yeah.
If you don't have a
That's a
house to
fair
flip,
argument there.
if you don't have a house to flip, where's your income coming from? If you don't have a house to wholesale, where's your income coming from?
Okay. So
All right.
So if you invest in rental properties
First
that
off,
pay you monthly,
yeah.
those
First
are
off,
investments.
everybody, you got to go in the comments and write, is real estate wholesaling, flipping, is that a
Hashtag Mike is right.
hashtag whatever? But put it in the comments.
I got him choked up now.
Yeah, you got. I was like, whoa.
He's about to cry because he wants to say
Put it in the comments. I won't cry. Well, put it in the comments. Mike's right, or what do you guys think for sure?
I don't know.
But I see what Mike's. You see, that's a beautiful thing about open mind.
Yeah.
Investing. Are you saying
when I was
continuing
flipping
return?
200 houses or 50 houses a year?
What did you
when
call
I flipped,
yourself?
I call myself a real estate investor.
Okay.
Looking back, I do not feel that way.
Okay.
But because of where I was, I
Really?
wanted to be an investor. But I was also, I also had rental properties and was also buying rental properties actively. So the act of buying and investing in real estate
Okay, I have
creates an investment. As a wholesaler, you're
Yeah.
never even buying the property.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you have to get. You
But
have to
you
know
are-
what the property appraises for.
Okay,
you
that's
have
being
to.
educated
Whoa.
And that's an investment.
That's you
in
still-
yourself,
Yeah.
not in real estate.
But okay,
Yeah.
let me ask you a
But-
question. The president, right? No matter what president we're talking about, they hire the president for his knowledge, not for his labor.
Yeah, he still has advisors though.
So I still feel like knowledge is part of
It's a big part of
is
it.
an investment. It's not. I don't think it has to be. I don't know. I just,
Knowledge is not
what
real
would you
estate.
call stocks?
And that's
I'm
his
not
brain
a
space.
stock. Yeah.
So
if
let me
someone
ask you a
says,
question.
I
Yeah, if
invest,
I'm on
I-
E-Trade and I call myself a stock investor, am I not a stock investor because I'm not on Wall Street holding up the little papers?
If you're buying stocks
Yeah.
on E-Trade, you're investing in the stock market.
But if
You're
you're
never buying a house as a wholesaler.
But as a wholesaler, you still can put in $1, $10, $100.
Yeah,
You're
still
buying
can.
interest.
You still.
I mean, you're,
Buying
picking,
it?
You're selling your equitable
picking,
interest.
You're picking,
Ah.
yeah.
You know what?
You're selling
Next question,
equitable
please.
interest
Next
in
question.
what are you selling it in?
Paper, stock.
Paper, a contract, not a piece of not a piece of real estate.
But
But
you
if
get a
you're
return.
selling an equitable piece of that real estate, then you're committing a crime.
All right. So,
Right, okay.
so Mike is reclassifying wholesalers into we just sell paper. So we're just we're lows. We're like the lower section.
I'm
We're
just
lower
saying
section.
it's the entry level.
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
Okay, I'm just saying
Yeah.
that.
But that entry
It's
level
not
let
investing.
us. But that, and quite frankly, that entry level let us.
He's not saying it's a
leapfrog.
bad
It led
entry
you-
level.
it
He's
led
just saying
you-
you're
it
not.
led
Yeah,
you to
so
investing.
I think there's steps to it for sure because now we still do wholesale because we wholesaled houses and we've gotten more money than what the flipper would make fully rehabbing the house. So, but now we're in multifamily and we're Airbnb. So I think it's a good stepping stone for people that want to start.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's
getting
bad.
into it. Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not real estate.
Don't get it. Don't wear a
And
name
it
tag
is
that says
flipping.
you're a real estate
And it-
investor.
yeah. Look, I know we all got to fake it till we make it. All right. So you go around and tell everybody I'm a real estate investor.
Smoke, man. The
I
smoke.
wholesaled 50 houses
So
last
if
year.
what about the players on the Alabama team that are always on the bench? Are they
Do
football
they
players?
play for Alabama?
They still play.
Oh my God!
Look, in the fourth
It's-
quarter against
They get-
Louisiana Monroe, they are playing football.
And here,
On
I'll
the bench.
take it a step further. I'll
Okay.
take it a step further. Nick Saban doesn't call plays or doesn't call defensive plays.
He's a football coach, not a player.
But is he a coach? Because he's not calling any plays.
Oh yeah. You don't think he's
yeah.
coaching? You don't think he's coaching the coaches?
Okay.
He's always coaching. Look at him going down the
Okay.
sideline. He's
Hit
always coaching.
Hit the like button. We brought the smoke for Mike. We brought the
It's
smoke for
good.
Mike.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Good.
All right, I don't even know where to go from here.
Me neither.
No, it's-
What drives you guys? Because this isn't something you just wake up and say, I'm going to do this. And I mean, it's easy to quit. Easy to quit and walk
Yeah.
away. What keeps you going?
I think quite frankly, and to take a serious note to it, my family has always been around real estate. My father had property. My grandfather had multiple property. And never once did they say, hey, buy property so you don't have to work for anybody. It was just, hey, just buy property. They had no direction. And you could say they weren't investors. They were just homeowners. And when Ayoka,
That's a good debate too.
yeah, when Ayoka kind of when she showed me that, hey, you can buy property and we can be our own boss, like you'll text me and be like, hey, let's go to Lynchburg. Let's go to this. I don't have to ask anybody. I don't have to.
You have to ask me.
Well, you're coming with, so then technically I don't have to ask. But the freedom for money not to be any factor in any decision I make, or the freedom for me to move where I want to move, or the freedom for my day to be completely different. No day is the same. For me to drive the cars that I do real estate for, that's my passion. For me to be able to do everything I want to do without any encumbrance at all, and for my nephew to look up to me and see that people are paying me and I can spend time with him, his mom and dad have to go to work. They don't have as much time with him, but I'm getting paid and I can spend all the time with him, pick him up for breakfast, do this. I think, and another thing, the car I drive, kids just say, "Whoa, man, whoa, beautiful, amazing car." And I let them sit in it. I let them rev in it. That car that I have used to be my dream car. I want something more now. But what drives me is the fact that the things that people see that's unattainable has been so attainable with real estate. And it is so easy as soon as you drive yourself and you stay committed, and the things that I want in life, the more things that I want, I think real estate's the avenue to get me there. So that it drives me to do that. I don't know about you, but that's how I feel about it.
Everything he said, but on a deeper level, so Rob and I are like best friends. Like, that's my partner. That's like, he's everything. I feel whenever there are times I even want to, I never want to give up, but I get down,
Sure.
want things to go, I want things to go another direction. I want to be better. I know that if my energy and my drive is not in the best place, it also affects him and the things that he wants, which I never want to happen. I never want his drive or his energy or his goals and focus to, we drive each other. Like, I never want his to be like, I don't want him to lose ambition. So it kind of keeps me in a place where I want to stay driven. And I think it's important to have people around that you don't want to let down. For some reason, that helps me a lot, knowing that I don't want to let him down. That continues to drive me. I don't obviously want to let myself down. Yeah, and when I see that she's
busting, like she's 2 a.m. on her laptop looking at Excel, like when she could just be watching a show. Mm-hmm. I'm like, damn, she just stayed up for 2 extra hours. I need to wake up 2 more hours and go finish the project that we got to do. So it's like, now you're trying to best each other in the most successful type of way. And it's like, whoa, we're just in like we're in a grind.
You want to see them doing well. Like, I know that what we do and what I do, my sister, my friends see it, even if they don't have the same level of ambition. I know they see it, and I see the little things that makes them want to do a little bit more. If it's get up a little bit earlier, if it's I'm going to try to read this book, I'm going to try to watch a podcast. Yeah. And it's weird. It's like I'm driven almost by the people that I consider my friends. And, even when we talk or we go on trips, you can see that does a little something to the people around you, which does do something to you. Yeah. And that everything that he said, and that really, I could feel the energy of the people I'm around.
Yeah, for sure.
We had to change a lot of the people we were around.
Yeah.
Family members, friends, that I was friends with for a very long time. I had to quit talking. I had to we had to both find a way to make new friends.
Yeah. When we first got here,
that's big.
Yeah. When we first got here, I will never forget this. We were in a neighborhood in Chattanooga, and I'm not going to say the race of the guy that was there. It's not what you think. But the guy came up to us and said, "You will never, people like you cannot buy in this neighborhood." Okay? It's not who you think it is, what you're thinking. Be open. I'm not going to say who it was, but be open-minded.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, when he said that, it's like, man, like, that just driven me, because it's like everything that I was taught in New York of what the South is and everything is completely opposite. Mm-hmm. And the success that we've received is because we've been driven, meeting you, talking to you, and seeing how you're driven. I think your network puts the battery in your back. And that just, like, right now, I just want to chop this thing. Because we just talking about real estate.
You're still mad.
I'm not mad.
Still mad because of wholesaling. Is that why you want to top my table?
Yeah.
But you know, it's like just us talking about real estate. We get pumped up. It's just
I love
just
hanging
No,
out
it
with you guys,
does.
but-
It really works.
Talk about, creating a new circle, man.
Yeah.
That's hard. But
Yeah.
yes, sometimes
Very
our
difficult.
old friends are sucking the life out of us.
very
That's very
difficult.
Really quickly. That negative, you're not going to be able to do that. Or
Yeah,
that's
very
Sometimes it's
Or-
not just friends; it's family.
Family.
It's
Yo, why don't
Sometimes
you-
family's the worst.
neighbor.
You, you guys work too hard. You guys need to take a break. You guys need to, man. I ain't taking a break. I'm
So that's- I don't have time to
adding.
take a break.
Yeah, I'm adding gas to it. I'm
Sit
ready
down
to
and
go.
watch a movie.
Sit down, watch a movie with me. Yeah, like shoot, man.
I wish Rob would watch a Lifetime movie with me.
I think keeping up
Run.
with the Kardashians enough.
Golly.
Hey, I was a Kardashian.
No, I've never seen the episode. I wouldn't know.
Okay, we'll do that.
Listen,
No.
you gotta,
Dinner and
I'm not-
Kardashians.
no,
yeah, Disney
I'm not gonna do
Kardashians.
it.
Yeah.
Not gonna do it. So what you talked about developing your circle and creating a new group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What has this path done for y'all and your family? And just,
man.
you mentioned a little bit earlier about your nephew.
I truly believe that
Dude.
there should be an entire class in school on
Networking.
network being your net worth. Like,
Oh,
and not
can you
just
say
your
that
net
one more time,
worth.
please?
And
Can you say that one more time?
I truly think that there should be a class that is about networking and building your net worth. I think that statement alone is so, what's the word? Like, it's just,
It's underappreciated. It's
and not
neglected.
even just in a financial sense, just in everything. Like, if I was a mother and someone told me surround myself with mothers that are outgoing and, that do things with their kids or take them out of the country, like, just, I just feel like, I feel like that is the number one thing that changed, meeting people outside of our circle of friends that we were used to. And when I say used to, I mean the ones that were only doing the things that we were doing. So they weren't, and it's not saying it's a bad thing. It's just that if I was working at Walmart, they were working at Walmart or Target, and it wasn't a friend that could help me grow. It was like I wasn't surrounding myself with people that were smarter than me. It's like we were all the same smart level, or we're not even trying to advance.
Yeah.
So now we're at the place where, the first meetup we went to was the one with you and a couple other people playing the cash flow game.
Yeah,
Very intimidating.
yeah.
Very,
We were so.
we were horrible at the game,
scared.
number one, but we learned a lot from you at
Yeah.
that game. And,
Which
it's a
now
game, but it's
Y'all probably
reality.
thought I was an idiot.
I was just like, no, it was actually the opposite. It was like, how do I get that mindset? It was like,
No,
how
it's
do I
like,
think like, how did he think like that?
it's you. I'm going to use one of my analogies. I'm very good at analogies to explain it, but
You'd be
if you're-
good
if-
dad. Yeah.
I can't wait to be a papa. I just can't wait to be a
Another
papa.
podcast.
But I don't. Yeah. But I think if you think of yourself as a sink sponge, and you put yourself in dirty water, you're going to stay dirty. If you put yourself in clean water, you're going to get clean. It's what you attract yourself with. And I think a lot of people are like, yeah, I want to read the book, but I want to keep the same friends that I had.
So I like what you just said and talked about reading the book and but not willing to put the time in to do it. When you set goals, you have to put standards with those goals.
For sure.
And are you able to live to those standards? So, not as important as the goal itself, or more important than the goal. More important than the goal itself is the standard that you have to set for yourself
Yeah.
to be able to hit that goal.
Yeah.
Are you able to live to that standard?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Even if you're not able to live to the standard, but the consistent drive to kind of reach that standard, I think it's just good enough. Like the perfection thing and trying to be perfect, you're not
I'm
going
not
to.
saying be perfect.
Yeah, but me and you agree fully. But I think if you set your goal for it and you consistently try to go for it, that's fine. And if you make a goal that is attainable, sure, or make a goal that scares you too as well.
Yeah.
Those have been life changing too as well. Something that's scared you, So
Bohag,
what else?
big old hairy audacious goal. You haven't heard of a
Bohag?
Bohag.
I
That's
thought
just write it down on the wall.
Bohag. They got to change that
Name
name.
my
huh?
child Bohag.
Bohag Jones.
Bohag.
Big-
Well, who's Jones?
Well, I just thought it was country name I could.
So what is y'all's end goal? What's the purpose behind all of it? Where do you want to be? I know Rob wants to buy a bunch of cars, but there's got to be more to it than that.
To be honest, man, that's really it. I think.
I know you want to do some good. You're good to kids. You're good to people
I
around
told
you.
him I have this idea for him that
I know what
with
Ayoka
his
wants to do.
cars, I told him with his cars and kids, and he has a passion for cooking, he could find a way to mix all of that into some.
I think there are so many kids right now that, and I've had this change of heart with Ayoka and her passion with kids, but I think there's so many kids that they don't have the awareness of what can be and how to act a certain way. So I think, like, again, going to the dream car, it was my dream car at one point. Now it's just a regular car to me, which I'm blessed to think that way. But there's so many kids that pass by, I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. It's like, it's just showing them that stuff.
A guy that we went to Financial Freedom Principles, Gary Johnston and Clyde Wilson put it on. And Clyde, he's older now and not doing it, but he had like classic cars, like 56 Chevrolets, 57 Chevys, whatever.
A little before my time.
Yeah, it's
more so like your time.
Yeah, it's before my time. Yeah. I go back to the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay, all right, just making
sure. Clyde did Ride with Clyde.
Okay.
That might be something you could do. Man. Ride with Rob.
Yeah, I love that.
You go pick up kids and just give them a different outlook on life. I think you just open the door, roll the window down, say, I've got ice cream, or.
Yeah.
Well, I can't do it in the van that I got. I got a 1980 van. It looks rough. It's bad.
Yeah,
I got to do it in the van. Don't do it in the van. Yeah, for sure. Real estate.
I've got real estate. I've got contracts.
Yeah.
I got hotel contracts.
I got contracts. That's good.
Man, but
it would be really cool for you to find a way to mix cars and cooking. With kids, like I think
I'm cooking a little too much these days.
No, that's very true.
Hey, we're all guilty.
Yeah.
Well, so what about you?
I just want my youth center next year. No matter what, it's gonna start.
All right.
Yeah, no matter what.
Youth center. Huh?
Yeah.
All right. So, if you were going back and starting again, or if you were seeing somebody that was just getting started in business and in life, what advice would you give them?
I think if I saw someone starting, I would say, quite frankly, if you ever want to quit, or if you feel like, man, I don't got another day in me, that is, you just literally have to get to that next day, because the next day, the next hour could change your life. Like, there's so many. There was one time, one quick story, where we first started and we're like we're not being as successful as we want to be. Like, we're, this is a little hard. It was like 2 months in, and we're like, should we get a job? Should one of us get a job? Should we get our resume back? And literally, like, the next day we found our first deal, and it's been rolling from that. And it's just like, just when you feel like you want to quit is when you have to put all in. Like, unless you're going all in, don't waste your time. Someone has to take out the trash. Someone has to be a doctor. So everyone does not have to be a real estate investor, but if you're going to do it, you got to go balls to the walls. And I think that's the lesson that I got to, ovaries to the wall, balls to the wall, but you got to go to, I'm sorry.
Go all out.
Go all out. Sorry. Go all out. That's it.
I would say it's still I hate the word regret, but it's still my biggest regret. When we came down for a little over a year, we just stayed to ourselves. And I don't care what anyone says. Like, when we're over budget on a project we're doing right now, very much over budget.
Over.
When we went to a mutual friend of ours, little house get together, and I was talking to a couple other investors there, and I'm like, because I've been down about it. I hate that we're over budget.
Yeah.
And I was talking to other investors about it, and they're like, who hasn't been over budget? I've been beating myself up.
It made me feel a little better.
It's over budget.
Yeah.
It happens. Like, can it still make money? And after that day, I felt so much better. Not that I'm happy to be over budget, but when you're down, and I was really messed up about this, when you're down, and you will get down as an entrepreneur when you're starting or whatever, you will get down. you have to surround yourself with people that's also been there and can help you get out of it. And I feel like that would be my biggest advice to anybody, because when we started, we probably could have propelled in some way a lot faster, a lot better, our mindset, everything, if we had just started surrounding ourselves with people that were smarter than us and just like-minded. So
this statement is not bull. We've literally raised just meetups, millions of dollars just in network. People will. There was an older couple that called us the other day. They're like, hey, we have 180,000. You guys use it as you see fit. 3 months, no payments, 3% interest. And right now with rates at like 7%, that working capital of 180, a work capital of 180,000 is huge, but that is strictly from networking, strictly from building relationships. It's not going to happen overnight, and you're not going to, don't ask someone, hey,
where'd you learn to do that?
Listen, man, I'm not good. But I learned from you. I learned from Mike. I learned from Mike. All right, I learned from Mike.
Good.
I'm not good, but I'm pretty good. But I learned from Mike. But still, again, this guy right here, hit the like button, subscribe, whatever.
Hold on. Let's turn the question on you. I'm just curious.
Yeah, but
what would you tell someone to start now?
Oh man, I had this answer.
You access the questions. How do you not have that?
I'm asking you questions because everybody's answering.
I'm sure everybody wants to know what's your.
Yeah, I'll have to come back to that on part 2.
Okay.
We get into part 2.
Y'all can interview me.
I would love
that because I got some questions for you because what you said was crazy.
I gotta do some research.
We gotta get some shirts. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button if you need a part 2, please, because we gotta give Mike the smoke.
Yeah. If golly, I've had that question. And it's always changing.
Yeah. That is.
But that's beautiful.
The truth. Yeah.
That's beautiful that always changes. Like isn't that the goal of just your journey in life, that your mindset, your thoughts are not the same? Because if they were the same, what are we doing this for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we gotta get
hit me with your favorite quote.
I was hoping you'd skip that one. I've been trying to think of, man, build unique is actually my favorite quote.
Yeah. No. Is that your favorite?
It is. I've been staring at it because it's just, it makes you think about a lot of things.
Build a unique business.
Yeah, exactly. Build unique. There you go.
Mine says, bye, 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 bye.
I guess we'll cut that last question. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all coming on. Been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll get in here and do a part 2. Let me know if you want to hear part 2 of Robin's story.
Because what he was saying was smoke. He's talking crazy.
It's the truth.
It's crazy.
Hey, look, I've done it. But it's,
I love a good debate.
It's true. Yeah, it's good, healthy debate.
Yeah.
All right, guys. See you next week.
Peace.